Morning, my darlings, my angels, my loves, my he, she's, and theys. Oh my god, I'm so tired, but I'm here. We're here. We're 30 minutes late to my own party. Oh my goddess. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being patient. If you were waiting for this to start, here we are. Woo! Capitalism is so great. I think we're cooked. I think we're fine. I think we're doomed. I think we're gonna be okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm so late. Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the world. I don't even know what's going on with me. I don't have anything to talk about. Oh, I didn't even look up the chat. You guys. Good news. We'll start with good news. We'll start with good news. Yay capitalism, you're doing great. What does O slash mean? I keep saying that and I actually don't know what it means. Good news. We'll start with good news. I got my final song back. What? I know. Like the final version, final. It's donesies. It's done. The song is done. I still have not started the music video though. So that's a vibe. Super exciting for that. Oh, it's a person waving. O slash means a person waving. That's great. Okay, hello. So yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. You know, to be a woman is to perform, and so here I am. Here I am. Here we are. I have nothing planned. Can't wait to see what we come up with in 3 days. In 3 days. Oh my gosh, it's July 1st. I'm releasing a song on July 4th called Lies in God's Country for anyone who has not heard. Because I've just been so great with promotion. Oh my goddess. You guys. I have 3 days to put a music video together. It's going to be so much fun. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being patient while I navigate the insanity of this world, of capitalism, of the United States, of patriarchy. Should we talk about patriarchy? No, I kind of wanted to talk about capitalism. I really did. It is a crazy world. It sure is. It sure is. I think that hold on. I feel like I had a video for us. Oh, that's too long. Now I only have like 30 minutes to talk with you guys. It's so intimate this morning. Yeah, it sure is. This is us. This is what we're going to do today. I don't know, man. Okay, someone give me something to talk about. I feel like this is like sometimes when I did stand-up comedy and I would not write a set list ahead of time. Oh my gosh, I can barely talk. I would not write a set list ahead of time, and I would just show up, hop on stage, and just spitball, and it literally never went well. But sometimes you have to do that in order to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I want to go to Europe because everyone on Instagram is there. I would love to go to Europe. I'm like not feeling confident in traveling abilities with being a United States citizen, but also being a United States citizen who talks about pretty like controversial stuff, which speaking of, like even this, okay, this we can start here. We can start here. Even this, hold on. Okay, so for those of you who have been around for a while, like you know that now I have a decent tip or a decent question that I saved. Okay. I am not the most I do not talk very positively about the United States on a regular basis. And so here we have this video that I published on Sunday is kind of popping off, called The Myth of Western Civilization Exposed. And you can see in the thumbnail that the flag is upside down. The United States flag is upside down, and I say we were never great, kind of playing off of Make America Great Again. And I'm particularly proud of that one. I feel like these last two, the Christian morality is a lie and the myth of Western civilization exposed, they were originally going to be one episode, like one segment, but um I split them up into two different concepts, specifically being like Christian morality and like Western values is really like the differentiation there. And I think that was for the best. I could have fit so much more content in both of those episodes. So I almost like I want to keep going with that concept, but the myth of Western civilization exposed is kind of popping off. In one day it's hit like 14,000 views, so that's kind of exciting. So welcome to all the new subscribers that this video brought in. Here, you know, this is it. This is what we do. And the upside down flag means we are in distress. I didn't realize that. I feel like I have heard that, and now you're reminding me like that is what that means. So I guess it is kind of appropriate. And I was kind of like, I was uncertain if I wanted to have the flag upside down because the thing is, it is important to me to call out what is inappropriate or unethical within the state. I think we're all very critical of the government right now, and I think that's appropriate. But it's a fine line, because as fascism grows, speaking truth to power is going to become more and more we're gonna maybe need to be more cautionary. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is a fine line, like being critical of this government, because again, as fascism grows, who knows what they'll start to come for, really. So yeah, but at the same time, like I stand by it. Like, I stand by having the upside down flag because we're in distress, obviously, is what I mean by that. But I wanted to try out the upside down flag in the thumbnail because for my song, that's what I want the like cover art or the thumbnail to include. Speaking of inappropriate draping the flag on anything and using it as clothing is disrespectful of the flag, yet some conservatives don't get that. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Do I agree that democratic liberal evangelicals are fulfilling the other part of the prophecy, which is encouraging and supporting the extreme immorality and sexuality among the non-believers? I don't think prophecies are real, and I don't think equating immorality with sexuality is appropriate, nor do I like the differentiation between believers and non-believers to exist in any form of hierarchy. So that entire question was like very much like the premise itself is not appropriate. Yeah, it feels like we're in the upside down, so maybe the flag should be upside down. I don't really know what to do with that question. Yeah, man. I don't know. Okay. So, now what? Now what? I'm like so fried. I'm so fried. And I have to work late today because my job, which is a salary position, like, you know, you have to work more than 8 hours in a day. And I still have to make a music video. I still have to make a music video. How do people, you know, expand their creativity under capitalism? It just doesn't work. They're incompatible. Capitalism and creativity are literally so incompatible. Good morning, everyone. The music video, what's my ideas about a music video? I don't know, man. I have a few ideas, but I feel like I'm just gonna sit in a room and do something super DIY, maybe a little, you know, avant-garde and offbeat, off-tempo. I have no idea. But the song sounds great. I'm like finally happy with the song. Yeah, until you can break out of the 9 to 5, it's so goddamn hard. Thank you guys for being supportive. I know. Life is insane. Life is insane for everyone too. Like I also recognize that complaining about not being able to make a music video is like first world problems. I get that. But I think that nevertheless I'm going to persist. Sometimes I miss unemployment. I really do. But I have to be able to sustain this for all of us, right? And move forward with that. Capitalism's great. Oh, here's something. Okay, so on this video called The Myth of Western Civilization Exposed, there were a lot of comments that I actually really liked. And I kind of like, maybe we can respond to a couple of them, because this got usually when I put out a video, especially when I put out a video about religion, it's kind of like half and half as far as like support versus hate. That's like, I've not actually measured it, so it might be skewed way farther in one direction or the other, but it feels a little bit more balanced whenever I talk about religion sometimes. But this video, The Myth of Western Civilization Exposed, there were a few comments that were like, nah, America's great, what are you talking about? Or one which was really interesting was like, whatever. Like I got a few hate comments, but in large part, The Myth of Western Civilization Exposed got a widely positive reception. And I got this one comment on the video that I'm going to read, and it says, "This video is so good, I will use it as required watching in my university class on colonial mentality here in China. Thank you." I feel so honored. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, that's super cool to feel. So, yeah, the USA is paying for free healthcare in Israel, 100%. Meanwhile, we don't get free healthcare. And that's insane, right? Of course. But that's capitalism, folks. We have to have our colony out in, the Middle East, protect Western civilization. That's another thing about that video, The Myth of Western Civilization Exposed, that I kind of like separated out to do its own separate video, which is specifically about how Israel is part of Western civilization, and the older Western nations use Israel as like a, as a foundation for Western civilization in the Middle East. And that's why we funnel so much money to them, and that is how they have free healthcare, right? And all of that. So I think that might be my next video, is about how Christian Zionism, how Western civilization is all kind of like wrapped up into the question of Israel. And so yeah, there's that. So yeah, I was really honored about the comment on the video about Western civilization. I think that's really cool that, students in China are going to watch it as like required viewing. That's like crazy cool. You guys. I don't know. And then I have this other question, which I might try and spitball here, a response here for a second, but it honestly kind of warrants its own video or segment some other time. This comment says, "Thank you. This essay is deep and spiritually uncomfortable. Are there practical tips for how to redefine agency as being globally inclusive and equitable?" That is a crazy good question, and it really does make me want to dive into that topic a little bit more. And I've actually kind of been going back and forth about how to approach more spiritual based conversations in my like content in my work. Like I feel like I kind of started doing that in the beginning. Like one of my first podcast episodes was called Yes, I'm a Spiritual Atheist. What was it called? I'm a Spiritual Atheist. What the fuck does that mean? That was like episode 4 or 5. And I think that maybe 6 or 7. But I think that I've kind of steered clear of talking about that. No, I'm not a Candace Owens fan. No. I mean, though she woke up a little bit to indoctrination about Israel, so we can give her some props for that. But in general, no. So yeah, I think that I've capitalism. Yeah, I think that I've kind of been going back and forth because we've kind of talked about this on some lives recently about how maybe the meaning crisis and the lack of connectivity, otherwise known as lack of spirituality. Again, I wish there was another word that we could use similar to spirituality that wasn't so charged and propping up like new age spirituality, but there's so much. Yeah, Candace Owens was also on Jubilee. Speaking of, no, I'll give you that announcement if it actually comes to fruition. It's not about me. I'm not going to be on Jubilee anytime soon, but that's, anyway, another time. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, we've watched a few creators who talk about how at the root of white imperialist capitalism, essentially Western civilization projects, right? Essentially the Western project of building the hierarchy that has taken over the world. The word is consciousness. That is also a good word. It's still, I mean, yeah, maybe that is a good word. I don't know. The idea of capitalism being built on the premise of not just exploitation, but the looking outside oneself for fulfillment, and the idea of reaching out across the globe to, you could say it's out of greed and out of like a sense of evil, but I don't like to think of people as on a spectrum of morality. I mean, I think that is useful because we have to have some lines and we have to have some accountability, etc. But I think that a lot of it boils down to, I don't want to say a brokenness because that's a very Christian word, but a lack of fulfillment for sure, and a lack of connectivity, a lack of conscientiousness. And it's just general lack is really what it is that makes us reach outside of ourselves for fulfillment. And so I do think that the question of capitalism can be broken down into what a lot of people refer to as a spiritual question. I wish that I had. You're really quite something, aren't you, JP? Casey, do you agree with Zoran that billionaires do not have a right to exist? Yeah, I do. I think that we need an income cap at the very fucking least. Like, there is no way that becoming a billionaire is ethical or moral. The level of exploitation that has to happen in the current system in order for people to become billionaires is atrocious. Like, it's not good. There's no version of morality that allows for that. Now, again, I do stand by the idea of like, it's not, really when we break it down is, I don't think that it's maybe necessarily a question of morality. I think that people who think that becoming a billionaire and then people who think that becoming a billionaire will solve their problems and then they become a billionaire, right? People who get to that point are not well. Like, they're not healthy. They are so disconnected. They are so disconnected from their shared humanity with everyone else, that they're unwell. Does that make sense? Okay, that was a weird thing to say. Yeah, I think that there should be a maximum wage for sure. I'm not the expert to tell you what that is, but in the you think Batman is the world's greatest superhero? I don't think so. I think that's a bit, I don't think Batman's the world's greatest superhero. Probably particularly because he's a billionaire. So there's that. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stretch. So sleepy. What's the question? What's the question? Hold on. Oh, and you have the Joker as your profile. I probably just like totally shit on your favorite thing. I'm sorry. I don't know. I say that, and I also like I'm not super intertwined in the superhero world. I don't know who the world's greatest superhero is. I should have had a backup if I was gonna say that Batman's not the best. Fun fact: Tony Stark is a billionaire, and he becomes evil later on. Yeah, I believe that. So, Batman is a vigilante. I'm like, that's not the problem I have with Batman, like, first of all. But, wow, you guys, Superman and Batman, those are the two that you come up with as the greatest superheroes. Come on. We're more alternative than that. We're more edgy than that. Come on. Give me something. Captain America, LOL. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, come on, guys. Give me a superhero better than the ones that are, you know, they're so mainstream. They're so conformist. Come on. I also, if you give me other superheroes, I might not recognize them. So that's not fair, of me. But yeah, anyway, as for the question of practical tips to redefine agency as being globally inclusive and equitable. I mean, again, I think it really does boil down to focusing on shared humanity and not distinctions, which even, I'm not going to get into this rant again, but which even extends to billionaires. Wolverine, Spawn, She-Hulk, Static Shock. I don't know all of these. Wonder Woman. I don't know. Sure. Yeah. I'm sorry. I did recently watch Andor. I haven't updated my Discord, like, because I was talking to some of the guys in the Discord about watching Andor, because I had not done like a full like Star Wars fandom entrance, and I did finish Andor, so that was really fun. I sobbed like multiple times, like just ugly cry, sobbed. And what I loved about Andor is that there was no Force, no Jedi, no you're the chosen one. He was just some guy. It was so good. Andor was so good. I had like emotional what's that word? Withdrawals from finishing it. And then, I did watch Rogue One, and then I watched the three originals, which was great, but I just cried. I never finished The Mandalorian. I started it too, and it did not capture me like Andor did, so I don't know. Also, I told myself I was only going to have Disney Plus for 1 month, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to have it. But anyway. Yeah, you guys, this is great. I'm doing so well. What else? I don't know, man. The thing is, I wanted to hop on and at least talk about the fact that I have a song coming out on July 4th. I'm still been trying to decide whether I want to do a stream on that day, but it's kind of looking like maybe I will actually take July 4th to actually rest. America, happy United States Day, happy Independence Day. I'm gonna do whatever I want, but I don't know, man. I feel like maybe I could have taken today off, but I wanted to see you guys. I don't know. These are my blue light glasses. I don't know, you guys. Life's hard. Life's weird. Okay, I'm going to end it here because I feel like I'm not even contributing anything. I will plan more tomorrow. Yes, I have had this for a couple years now, the tattoo. I'm actually getting it touched up again getting addition to it on Saturday. But I think I'm gonna end the stream here because I don't feel like I'm contributing anything. So sorry if anyone feels like I wasted their time. But yeah, this is what it's like. Life is great. Life is good. Oh my gosh, tomorrow I'll be better. Tomorrow we will cover something actually relevant and important. And with that, oh my gosh. I feel like I just wasted everyone's time. All right, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, Lies in God's Country comes out on July 4th. Make sure you get some rest between now and then. And we'll just day by day until I don't know.